Shout out to our ultra spiritual amigo, Zephyr Sears right here. He owns our friend JP, and Zephyr's letting us stay at the house while JP's in LA. And this is actually, just so everyone knows, this is the chair where 10 All In was conjured up. I was sitting right here, JP was sitting over there, and Zephyr was probably managing it all. So let's begin.
This question is from multiple people, but asked in different ways.
Yes.
So, shortened down, is there ever a point where living out your purpose takes a back seat to making a living? And assuming you don't find success in immediately combining living your passion and making a living doing it.
Looks like Zephyr has a good answer for us today. He's like, come on, Zephyr, like, come on. Did they really just ask that? But they did. And I get that. That's like one of the most common questions I get, and it's phrased in multiple ways. The way I hear that question is, how do I continue to go all in on my passion if I haven't yet gotten paid to do it, and I'm I'm feeling a bit insecure? So there's this idea that there's 6 basic human needs. Starting from the ground up, we can start with security, then insecurity, then significance. It's important to feel important. Zephyr looks like he's going to jump down and his back is a little fragile. Should I put him down at this point, you think? After significance, you have love and connection. And as our friend Tony Robbins would say, was that okay? JP, let me know if that was all right. JP. That connection is like the crumbs of love. Some people will settle for the crumbs of love, and then it's connection. And it's let's just put it this way: it's probably easier to be connected with someone rather than truly unconditionally loving them. That's more of like a security rather than the insecurity aspect of love and connection. And then above that, you have your spiritual needs, which would be growth and contribution. Because if you're not growing, what are you doing? And in my opinion, and there's many other greats that I've heard, that it can be argued that one of the secrets of living is giving, or that you get what you give, and there's like a direct correlation to that, almost a universal law. So what I hear in this question is, how do I move beyond attachment to security and start dancing in the wisdom of insecurity? And honestly, that's the answer is the question here, that how can you start to turn the uncomfortable into fun comfortable? How can you get more comfortable with being uncomfortable? Because in reality, that contrast for me, and I imagine countless others, that like, oh man, that like wanting to want, not only wanting to be grateful for what you have, but wanting to want more, whether it's you want more money or whether it's you want for more people, your work to get into more people's hands and hearts and heads because you really believe in your gift, that whether it's a painting or a song or a video or an event or an item that you're creating, that you want to get your gift to as many people as possible and you want to make it as valuable as possible, that sometimes there's a period there of where you're striking and you're striking and you're striking and you're 100 feet from gold, 50 feet from gold, 25 feet from gold, and you never really know how far you are potentially from that gold. And I would beg to argue, if that makes sense, that the not knowing is the gold. That insecurity is the prize. It's actually maybe a more valuable, or it's arguably of equal value. It's like it's all great where life only gets better. That the journey is the destination, and you feeling insecure, they're like, oh my gosh, am I going to have to go back to being a cook although I want to be an artist, or am I going to have to go back to being a substitute teacher rather than playing baseball, or am I going to have to go back to working Craigslist jobs rather than writing or being an author, or am I going to have to go back? There's so many stories. Like, am I going to have to go back to working in the mall rather than selling my artwork? It's just not working. It's just not working. That challenge, that contrast, that mountain that you're climbing up is just as valuable as the top of that mountain. And if you don't recognize that the same substance that's on the peak of the mountain was also created by the same, is also a creation from the same thing that created the trail up to that mountain. And the trail is the goal. And if you get, what I hear in this is people are so attached to knowing and security that they forgot how fun and how much wisdom and how much growth and how much fun comfortability can be in going, like keeping your eyes on the prize, your head and heart in the heavens and your feet on the ground. It's that balance. It's that balance. And that challenge is the gift. As a Stoic might describe, and there's even a book on this, the obstacle is the way. And if you can learn to be grateful for that as well, then I think you're going to get what you're looking for. And you might find out that you actually wanted to want more than wanting to get what you got. However, I challenge us to all come to a place where we can love both and where life only gets better. And tell yourself that. Tell yourself, I have all the time that I want. Tell yourself, life only gets better. Say it in the present tense, because I've heard a lot of people in the past talk about like a waste of time. There's no such thing as a waste of time. Whatever you're let's step into the idea and having the faith that not only are we all on the same team, but let's step into the faith and the courage that every choice you made is the right choice for you to be where you're currently at. And then that's a gift from God. And the opportunity you have right now is the way to get what you're looking for. And if you're feeling a bit stressed, chasing your passion or going after giving your gift to as many people as possible, that's a positive stress. I'll tell you what might be more of a slippery slope of a negative stress is actually doing something you don't want to do for someone else that doesn't really value what you're doing, more just your busyness or more your mechanics, more they want, like some people prefer to have drones working for them because a drone or a robot is much easier to control and leverage to your advantage, also known as being underemployed. Do you believe some people brag about being underemployed for other people's advantage? It's a very interesting space to be in. So, yeah, I would say congratulations. That's my answer. You're feeling a bit stressed, going after your gift, going after your passion, and giving that gift to as many people as possible, and making it as valuable as possible. Good on you. That's where I think we deserve to be. If you have your basic needs satisfied, oxygen, if you have water, if you have food, and even if you're in this planet where you're a really starving artist and it's hard for you to find food or money, I've eaten out of plenty of dumpsters in New York City. There's so much food in this world. Whether you're in the city or the farm or a hunter or a fisher, there's plenty of food. So worst comes to worst, at least in my experience in the United States, I'm not saying that's the case everywhere else in the world. I'm answering this question under the assumption that someone's living in a first world type of setting and they're really wanting to tap into more success for giving their gift. So this is the premise of answering this question. For people that actually don't have food or safety, that's a whole other question. They really are looking for security. But I think a lot of people in this type of setting where they've been given everything they could ever dream of to survive and get by and to have proper digestion and proper hydration and proper health, and they can see and they can hear and they can navigate through their senses. Hey, like not having as much money as you desire or not impacting as much people as a part of you wants to, that's a good thing. That means you're hungry. In my opinion, the key to living a full life and being full is to stay a bit hungry. So stay hungry, my friends. And if you're a little hungry for more, if you're a little hungry to improve yourself even more, that means you are on those higher human needs, that you're hungry to even be more significant. You're hungry to love and connect even more. You're hungry to give more. You're hungry to contribute more. This is a good thing. Now, if you're stuck and attached to the very basic human need of security, it's time for you to evolve beyond that, because it can be argued that's what we're here to do. That we've been given this human suit to evolve, for our spirit to evolve through this awesome life on Earth that was a gift. And sometimes the journey is the destination. Sometimes the obstacle is the way. Sometimes the challenge is the opportunity. Sometimes the stumbling block is the stepping stone. So I trust that helped. And I've been there. I'm there right now. I'm thinking like I'm here and my heart's storming away. How can I improve what I'm doing? And there is a bit of fear. There's a bit of fear like, what if things don't work out as much as the next event? Do you know how many times that has fear? I've observed that fear and let it go and let it to God. A lot. Like, what if all the people don't sign up, or what if we don't make money, or what if I can like observe those and let them go. I challenge you not to argue for those limitations, but to observe them, let them go, and realize that that is a gift for you to tap into more greatness. Ask your question below.